Hello. Decided to do some diffusing. You can diffuse essential oils in water. I'm going to use oregano. When diffused in the air, oregano has very strong antiviral properties. Was actually used in the Black Death. A lot of herbs were used. I mean, obviously it was highly contagious and a killer as well. But it did save a lot of the doctors when they put it in their, I call it the duck beak, you know. They used to put poultices of herbs inside so that when they breathed in, when they were treating the patients, they had oregano and certain herbs inside their, well, essentially their gas mask, I guess, in a way, you know, a very ancient, old-fashioned one. And I can even adjust the lights in here. It's lovely. Look, I like having it on the red, and then I can put it on for 6 hours, which is great. Or you can just keep it on the on setting. But yeah, so those are from. Actually, I put a rosemary in as well because rosemary. That's from doTERRA. Advertising doTERRA here for free. Because I'm just going to go around the house here and show you some other things here. I've been cleaning. It's March the 28th, 2020. So what I was going to just say and finish off is rosemary has antiseptic properties as well. Very strong antibacterial antiseptic. So just it getting in the air just means it generally cleans it. I was cleaning this whole area. I did the windows, but in particular just was zoning in on my crystals, you know, and when they're used with intention, crystals can have some very powerful healing tool, you know. Black obsidian. This is a obsidian sheen. It has a sheen to it, you see. And this one particularly is very good for grounding, so essential right now. Very good for practical uses to really bring us back down to earth and protect us. So it's a very strong protection one, and it can actually bring in stability and wealth. And I'm going to show you my Chinese bracelet. I mean, it's a very superstitious thing, right? But the Chinese have used black obsidian in these bracelets with these symbolism on there and their writing to bring wealth and health and prosperity, because obsidian is meant to help you with that and protect you from all evils. So on a very ancient level, it has, you know, those connotations to it. And sometimes I don't even know what some of these are. Like, I just feel very drawn to them when I go to the shop, and I still haven't really been able to identify this one. If anyone knows, can you write in the comments? Because I love this little peach thing. And just sometimes at certain times in my life, I felt drawn to, it's very fuzzy, to picking up and just, you know, holding certain ones and setting an intention with them. You know, like this one is ruby quartz, and it's a beautiful one, and it's a very good for grounding, and I'm really literally just going for the ones that I'm feeling drawn to right now. It also is good for the base chakra, I believe. I mean, there's so much stuff. I have old books about it, but yeah, these are just general things, and of course you can look online. Selenite is very good for meditation. It clears the mind. It offers clarity to any cell in the body, apparently. So really a very cleansing tool to use. I have a wand of this as well, and I use it in massages and healing sometimes because just the vibration of it can really clear any sort of negativity and build up, you know, and anything that's stagnant or stuck, it just moves it through. And so if you're really feeling foggy-headed and, you know, you have that literal brain fog and, you know, your concentration's low and you just feel like yuck, then just sitting with selenite and clearing the mind and just meditating is really good. And black tourmaline, I mean, the ultimate protection tool. Psychic protection, physical protection, and spiritual protection. I mean, this all emotional, all-round protection. Tourmaline has been known for its very powerful grounding and protecting the aura and protecting your energetic system and your chakras. So Very powerful one to have. And I have these protective type ones, even though I don't think they're that big, you know, really. I don't know if size matters in this case, but I have them on my windowsill, which faces out into, you know, where I live. And just to say that I was hearing about how, because people are staying home, that people are putting stuffed toys and rainbows in the window. And then I realized that I had my rainbow unicorn. I think he's called Dookie, and he comes from the Squatty Potty. Don't know if anyone's ever seen Squatty Potty. They're funny anyway, the adverts. You only find them on YouTube, advertising Squatty Potty. But he is rainbow and a soft toy, so I thought I'll put him in the window for the children. And he just sits there and chills out nowadays. And then, of course, I have the Om. So, you know, the powerful symbols that we have around us and the tools that we have around us can create a lot of vibrational protection and healing. I played the Om mantra for 7 or 8 hours last night, just in the background. And now I can turn myself around and you can see me. And it really was calming, at least, you know. It did a lot of calming, had a calming effect on me. So that was an amazing thing to have just going on in the background. I'm not completely used to doing naked videos, you know. Before I used to do them with the animal faces and there was always a comic edge to them. Now I feel like I'm being really serious because of what's going on, and just sort of documenting just generally how to keep afloat. Singing and dancing and doing yoga, thinking of new ways of creating things from, you know, my rubbish, for example. I've got a lot of recycling. I'm thinking, oh, I can make something out of that, you know, strip off the label off the can and paint it and use it as a paint pot. I mean, just like loads of things just to keep our minds, you know, creative and active and having fun in some way, and try and ignore what's going on. But I know we can't completely, but it's got to be a positive and healthy approach to try and remove ourselves and detach ourselves. And the other real beneficial thing that I've been doing is breathing. I mean, obviously we're always breathing, right? Breathing is essential to life, of course. But especially at this particular time, focusing on pranayama breath work, which in the Kriya Yoga lineage that I've learnt from India, which is an ancient art form of yoga, and its teachings come from the Vedic philosophies. Basically doing full pranic breath. So I'll demonstrate how you're breathing in through the top, middle and lower lobes, the 3 lobes of the lungs. So, you know, and then holding the breath and suspending the breath. It depends on how long, you know, you feel you can hold your breath, but generally I used to be able to get up to sort of 60 seconds, sometimes longer. It depends, you know, you practice it as you go, and then you're breathing out. Now, eventually what happens is you can breathe in, say, on the count of 6. That was almost 6. So starting maybe with 3, moving up to 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, so that you're breathing in for much longer, much slower, and the breath is always taken in through the nose, nice and slowly, as much as you can. And then you're holding down on that breath and suspending the breath. I basically have a rule of suspend the breath for as long as you can. Even if you're only breathing in for, say, 4 or 5, 6 counts, suspending the breath for as long as you can is great. And then breathing out through your mouth, this is the, it essentially is an organ of elimination, actually, what the tongue is. I mean, it's all connected to the root. So we have one long tube going from anus to tongue. So everything that's waste is coming out of the mouth. So the breath comes out. Deoxygenated air comes out of the mouth, and good oxygenated air goes in through the nose. So that's the theory, okay, and that's the protocol for this. So breathing out. nice and slow as well. So when we're breathing in, we breathe in for the count of 6, for example. We're trying to breathe out for the count of 12. So the essence of this is that you do double. You do double of the breath out. And that means it has to be incredibly controlled and slow. So the slower you can do it, the more benefit you'll have. The longer that you can suspend and hold the breath, the better it will be. I wouldn't try and challenge yourself too much in the beginning. If you can only do 3 in, suspend the breath for like 10 seconds, breathe out for 6, great. You'll notice that every single day you do it, you will improve. Your daily practice will become very, very rapid and quick if you do it every day and you have nothing else to focus on really. If you're indoors all the time, you can practice it every day. You know, like, I'm not saying you don't have other things to do. We all have a lot of things to do, working and whatever else. We can work from home, but you know, having a practice where we think, okay, might as well try this, I've never done this before, then you can try it. If you have done it before and you know it's beneficial, then you can just pick it up again and carry on. It can be done for as little as 2 minutes up to like 20 minutes, depending on how much time you have, how good it makes you feel. You will feel exhilarated and energized. It may feel overstimulating, you may want to stop. It may make you feel so relaxed that you want to go to sleep. It really does depend on the person, because the breath is rebalancing you. The breath is prana moving through the body, and prana is an energy that basically is you, inside you, circulating around you, linking up all your circuits. So on an energetic level, it will clear a lot of things. It'll start clearing blockages, and when it starts clearing energy blockages through the chakras, it will start working on you emotionally and physically. So, you know, you'll probably notice a huge shift in how you feel. It could come with some detoxification symptoms, like basically, you know, maybe going to the toilet more, maybe needing to drink more fluid. So you need to just flush it out with drinking water. It doesn't really have too many adverse effects, apart from the fact, like I say, you may feel like you have loads of energy, or you may feel like you really need to sleep and rest. So, and they can come at different times. You may feel very energized after breathing like this, and then hours later think, wow, I'm tired now. Or it could have the opposite effect. You feel tired straight away, you sleep for a couple of hours, and then you feel really energized later. Everyone isn't totally individual in that way. I think that's the easiest breath to start with. There's many other things, and it can add on things as we go along. But I just wanted to share that because today I felt like doing a lot of breathing with my meditation, and really meditation is just clearing the mind of thoughts. When thoughts come, be aware of them, acknowledge them, have that recognition, and then clear the mind again. And then focus on the breath. So, you know, we can never really get rid of everything in our mind. Our mind is constantly going around, and that's the beauty of the ego, is that, you know, we're always having things come into our mind. It's either creative, it's destructive, it's challenging, it's, you know, an interesting thought process, it's, you know, ideas, all kinds of things. Something you need to do, something you don't need to do, a worry, a fear, you know, all these things go around and around us all the time. And so the idea is to remain as detached as we can be from it. Observe it, be the witness, and think, okay, and then go back to focusing on the breath, focusing on what the body is doing. And that's why breath is so essential when we do meditation. Because if we didn't focus on controlling the breath, we would just be totally away with our minds, and our minds would be controlling us all the time throughout that process. Because, you know, like I say, people find it very difficult to meditate because they say they can't do it because they can't switch their heads off. You know, the intention is not to switch the head off. The intention is to bring the focus and awareness to some other part of the body. So that's the place to start, really. I've never done this kind of swapping the camera around thing, so I don't know if this has worked. But I'll just show you how windy it is today, Saturday, 28th of March 2020, and I'll say goodbye. And here we go, going round. Oh, yeah, maybe, there we go. Maybe I did that wrong then, because I don't know, the camera may have got obscured by the phone case. Yeah, I have a nice silver birch tree here. It's a very windy day.